got along well from the beginning, and it just gradually built. And that came with, a lot of trouble, or not so much trouble, but a lot of hate backstage that led me to, the last 2 years I was there, I contemplated like, gosh, I don't want to hate a business that I love so, so much, but thought about leaving for, 2 years prior to when I actually did. And a lot of that had to do with just the, from writers to some talent to, and was it fair? No. Were there a lot of people dating? Yeah. But because it was Mark, I got everything from that point, not because of the storylines we pitched every single week, not just for myself. I have to have an opponent for myself and other people. I know I can look at myself in the mirror and know my work ethic was there, know how hard I worked day in, day out. When he started riding on the bus, I would wait until the arena cleared, but I didn't want anybody to see me even get on this bus. Like it was, but it is what it is.
Is that what led to you wanting to retire?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. I mean, the schedule's grueling. It was a constant fight, like we spoke about earlier, week in, week out. And it was a lot. It was a lot being with him that I had to take and endure.
So then what were the last, call it 6 months of you deciding like, okay, I am going to retire?
Yeah. I don't think I told anybody other than Mark and Layla. She knew it was coming. I wanted to enjoy it. It was hard because we were still fighting for, that last match or that last, build up to the last match. And it just, I don't know if I ever got true closure because it's like I didn't really want to leave, but I didn't want to, like I said, hate something that I loved my entire life and still love to this day. So it was a tough decision. But I had to just try to find the good, always try to find the good. I have some very dear friends to this day that I take from the business.
It's got to be difficult because it's not that you couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You were early 30s.
Yeah. And I did know that I did want to have kids. So that was a huge, obviously a huge part of that decision as well. So I don't want to negate that. That was huge. But yeah, it was hard.
But that's a big decision as well, not just the retirement, but if you take it one step before that, like deciding, yes, I am going to not just date a wrestler, I'm going to date the wrestler. I'm going to date a top guy.
I'm going to do it.
But it's a big decision to make because it comes with all these repercussions afterwards. And you would have to, assume that that's going to happen. Maybe it was worse than you thought.
Wait, yeah. Well, I just know that I wasn't the only one dating guys around there.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't see that from anybody else, but.
So did it feel personal then?
Not so much personal to me, but because he is the top. Mm-hmm. He is the top. He is the benchmark for everybody. And so I think people looked at that differently. Like he has whatever pool he wants is what you think. And you can ask him. And I actually am so stubborn. I'm like, I don't ever need any type of help to fight any battle, to fight a storyline, to pitch a storyline. I can look in the mirror and just say, that's never happened. Now, there was one time a little incident happened with a guy, and I had to beg him not to say something. Even though this guy was calling Mark and wanting to talk to him and apologize and everything else, which he didn't answer. He made him sweat it out for several weeks. And all's good now. All's good. Totally fine now. But I mean, just the point being, that's my nature. That's my character. That's how I've always been my entire life. Like to a fault, I don't need help from anybody. I can figure this out. I can chug on through and get something done. But, there were writers that literally threw up their papers. If she wasn't the Undertaker's girlfriend, she, wouldn't be on the show. Or a couple times, I will turn my cheek a million times, but I'll also stand up for myself. And there were a few times I can remember, like a handful, where I'd already talked to somebody earlier in the day and they had treated me one way. And then, of course, they see me and Mark together. And I have to say, guess what? I didn't change from 10 minutes ago. So treat me the same way you treated me when he wasn't standing here. It's like, So